Looking up the rear, if you look slightly up at that angle.
This is my new to me Lamborghini. Now, I bought this car without a pre-purchase inspection. I know, maybe not wise. However, in the UK, consumer rights laws mean that because I bought the car from a dealer, if I do find anything serious in the first 30 days, I can reject the car outright and expect a refund. So I took the risk, bought the car, and days later headed down to Ricky Elder's RE Performance, an independent specialist renowned for their knowledge of this platform, and several others. But the question is, will I have to return the car? Let's find out everything that's wrong with my new to me Lamborghini Gallardo LP 570-4 Superleggera Edizione Tecnica.
Right, moment of truth. So Mitch is going to talk us through
What is what on the Lambo. If we start at the front, from the underneath here, you can see you've got some slight damage on the splitter, just from where she's ground out a couple of times.
Yep.
I'm going to make use of that lift kit.
Yep.
Working our way slightly back, you've got a couple of fixings missing, just here and here.
Okay.
So they should be the same as these ones, these T30s.
Do you happen to have those in?
We will probably have those in stock, yeah. Okay. So a lot of the little bits and bobs, niggles, we can probably sort today anyway. Tyres, just going off of not necessarily the wear, but more the dates and that sort of thing. I'd advise changing them.
And the fact that they're mixed between the front and the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit sketchy coming here, I won't lie.
Yeah, the P0s, they're what they come with, but they're not necessarily the tyre of choice. So everyone on these and the R8s, everyone raves and everyone moves on, and we recommend moving on to the Michelins.
Yeah, PS4S,
yeah.
I've got those on my R8, so.
Yeah, much better feel through the wheel, that sort of thing. Initial turn in, just more response, more feedback, stiffer sidewall.
I've already got them pre-ordered for next week.
Nice. So you've got, on this one, you've got a couple of tiny stone chips, just on the wheel there.
Yep.
And then on the other side front, what I would advise in when you're doing the tyres is just to make sure that this wheel's straight as well, just because they've put quite a lot of weight. As you can see there, they've actually had to double stack just where the valve is on the weights. Okay, so whether or not this wheel at some point has had a whack and it's maybe not quite true, or you could just be unlucky with the tyre itself. But say if you're going for new tyres, then all that will be checked anyway. Calipers have been repainted. They've not been repainted off the car, they've been done on the car, so you've got some minor overspray and that sort of thing on the actual pads. More so on the rears, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Interesting, didn't know that.
The brake pad retaining springs are all fitted the right way around, which is good. We see it all the time where people have them off and they're back to front or upside down, but they're all in, they're all good. Brake lines are all good. All the rubbers, all nice, all clean, nothing's cracking, tearing. It's obviously been looked after or garaged, I would say, a fair bit of its life. I wouldn't put it past that it's had a proper full-on detail at some point as well, including wheels off, just from the state of the arch liners. They're really clean. You've driven it down here today, so more towards the outer edges, you can see they're all covered in mud and that sort of thing, but it's been driven.
I prefer to drive my cars.
Yeah.
And then put it into storage.
They need driving. They do need driving.
Yeah.
So you've got one or two fixings. So if you look up here, so you should have this style of fixing. So you've got one missing from there.
Oh yeah.
So you've pretty much got one miss on near enough every corner. So you've got 1, 2, and there should be another one there that's missing.
Oh, right, okay.
1, 2, 3, and there should be another one there that's missing.
Right.
But you can see it's actually cracked the edge of the actual wheel arch liner.
Oh.
So a new fixing will work in there, but as you can see, it's actually pulled through.
Yeah.
So on that one there, and then more so on this side, if you're looking through this angle, at that point there.
Oh yeah.
So you can see there's one missing there, and the same thing's happened there, pulled through. Minor things, but you've got a slight stone chip there on the caliper.
Yep, I saw that.
Underneath it's all nice and clean. So biggest thing on these that we usually see will leak in is everything from the oil pump drive seals. So you can see this is your oil pump here, and then the drive seal is that tube. So you've got a seal this end and a seal this end that normally will leak over time, but as I say, that's all nice, clean and dry. Seals on the end of the drive shaft for the front, all nice and clean and dry. And drain bungs. So you've got drain bung here, drain bung there, one on the side there. You've got the front one here, and you can see they've all been out before because they've been paint penned, but they're all nice, clean and dry. Front of the engine's all dry. The belt, so you've got an auxiliary belt at the front. You can see that that's been replaced at some point. That looks pretty much brand new. The tensioner for these is more like it's like a small shock absorber, so they're quite common for leaking as well, but you can see that's all nice and dry as well. All fixings are all there. Usually you'd see loads missing, or people have them off or they put them back in the wrong places. Everything's all good. Looking up the rear, if you look slightly up at that angle, I'll show my torch through there. If you can see, there's a plug here.
Yep.
So that should have a little fur retainer,
Right.
which just clips it up there, just to stop it rattling around. So that's loose. So
Okay.
if you get any noises, anything like that,
I did hear that.
it's probably that.
Ah, okay.
Someone has put an exhaust on it at some point.
Yep.
So it has got a nice new exhaust on there. The flexies are all good. The clamps that go from the flexies to the exhaust look like they've been replaced, all nice and clean. The other thing on the older generation of cars is you can see the oil pipes here, they're black.
Yep.
So the newer ones, basically what happens is with this older style, where the powder coating is, moisture can get in through little cracks and that sort of thing, and it'll actually start to corrode from the inside out.
Oh wow.
So you'll start to see bubbling and that sort of thing. But yours are pretty clean all round. So you can see this one's very, very slightly starting to rust there, but absolutely nothing to worry about at the moment. But at some point, probably within the next 5 years, I would say, realistically, you'd want to be changing those if they look like they're going to start to be perishing. As I say, the new style, they're all stainless, so they're shiny. So that's normally the best giveaway. You just have a quick look through the wheel arch or from underneath and you'll be able to see if it's had that done. But with it being such low mileage and that sort of thing, it's all still original. So from up top, you've got on these, for the coil packs, you've got little plastic covers just to stop the rain. I've noticed on cylinders 2 and 3, those covers were missing.
Oh really?
But when taking the under tray off, I've actually found one. So you've got one back.
Oh wow.
So that is one of the plastic covers. So we'll be able to refit that. But yeah, one is still missing. So it's probably fallen out at some point. So where it's had the exhaust fitted, all of this would have been off to get to that. You can see you've got some small retaining clips here.
Okay.
As you can see that they're slightly off.
Right.
Just for the basically the foil. See that on there? It's literally about to fall off. So I'll have to push him back on. It's just to keep those foils all in a nice shape. And if we go along to this fixing here, you can see it's actually loose. So it's actually not all the way home. And then there's actually a rogue fix in there, which you can see just hanging out. So I'll have to find exactly where he is from. So you can see the thread there on the head up there.
It's hanging there.
Yeah,
Just chilling.
just chilling. But yeah, dampers are all good, springs are all good. No excessive corrosion or leaking. Minor, really minor things, but obviously the car's got full PPF. So you can see on the edges. So on that trailing edge there, you can see it's actually starting to lift.
Yep.
Yeah. So certain areas up there, and the edges here, just where they get caught in the wind, they will start to obviously peel. I would advise to get those readdressed now rather than having to re-PF the whole car before it gets worse. Not be able to get someone to clean up those and get them all back down and nice. Okay. Front's all good. Inside, no excessive stone chips or anything like that on the condensers or any of the coolers. See in there, they will look nice and clean. No stain chips or anything along the front. Obviously it's a bit hard to see because it's a little bit dirty where it's all the way here.
Yeah.
Especially on the headlights on these, because they're quite thin. They're quite common for cracking along these edges and that sort of thing. But yeah, all nice and clean.
Do you spot the issues with the glass at the back as well?
Not yet. So normally in the corners they'll craze. So where the black is, between the black and the clear, normally you'll get some like cracking and that sort of thing. Yeah. Which you can see at the top.
Yep. And there's one on the other side as well.
Yeah. That top edge there, you can just see it. So that is common on these. So
I don't want to know how much that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to guess. Obviously the rear of these all being carbon and the glass, well it's not actually glass. It's
Polycarbonate.
yeah. Which I think through the heat cycles and that sort of thing is why that then happens.
They're expanding and contracting at by different amounts.
Yeah.
No, Lamborghini, I wouldn't be surprised if you can only order the whole
thing, yeah.
I wouldn't be
probably.
surprised. You wouldn't be surprised. And
I
obviously,
will.
yeah, being full carbon, that's going to be an expensive day.
We'll just have to get the is it DMC STS rear deck and wing.
Get the Lamborghini factory superficial, Ali, deck and wing. I'm sure that'll be nice and cheap.
Yeah, okay. Put it on my Christmas list.
I was going to say, is he paying for it?
He can sell a kidney.
Yeah. I don't think one of my kidneys is. So you can see also it's been detailed at some point. Yep. It is very, very, very clean in here. Where the coil plugs plug in, you've got like a retaining tab. So similar to, if I show you another plug, it'll be easier to see. So you can see this plug here on the light, that little plastic tab, which you have to squeeze, which lifts the front of the clip up like that.
Yeah.
So you've got two that are actually missing on this.
Right.
So cylinder 2 on that side and cylinder 9 on this side. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on the camera.
No.
But that plug there is actually missing the retaining pin. So although it's plugged in, there's nothing really holding that on.
Right.
Luckily on those, that you've got 2 fixings. So you've got a little T-fix in there and a T-fix in there, which holds that whole branch in. But at some point I would advise getting that done. Because sometimes they do like to back off and then obviously you'll get a misfire.
Can you just get that leaf while you're there?
Oh yeah.
That one down there.
We've got one there as well. So these like to, for fun, normally with the heat, but also if people work on them, you've got these grills. You see they slightly deform and that sort of thing, where they are very, very soft. You can obviously just bend them back into shape, but you just have to be careful when working on these, you don't lean on them and that sort of thing. So you can see normally the rear, where it's right above the exhaust, it gets heated the most. You can see that one's a bit deformed.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are very, very, very soft. Slight damage on your power steering cap.
Yeah.
So typically, if these aren't lubricated or that sort of thing, the caps will they'll get really, really tight. Someone's obviously not been able to undo it, so they put a pair of grips on there to undo that, which is chewed into that chrome there.
Yep, we saw that.
But you'll be happy that that's an Audi part, so shouldn't have the Lambo tax on it.
Now we've just got a few little details to sort out. Might have to mention a couple of them to the dealer just so he knows and has the option to do something about it.
Can we make some more things wrong with it by doing a tax the rich video? See, it's already got a bit of mud, so you might as well just...
Hand me a deposit for the full value of the car. I'll let you do what you like.
Alright.
Okay.
So one thing I did notice, you've got a screen mount. I'd advise not on these, because the screens are so thin.
Right.
You see so many, people better take it off, and it will crack the screen.
Right.
They're really thin. They break for fun. Compared to that one, that one's solid in comparison. So obviously that's a bendy mount. Whether that will be strong enough or not to mount
Sideways,
that one, might be better. I would rather have it there than on the screen.
Okay.
Next up, Mitch had to go and get the computer to check all the fault codes. Meanwhile, Damani took it upon himself to fix another issue which had been bugging him.
Okay, let's see how long it stays like that.
It won't make a difference, I can try.
Yep.
There you go. Job done. Fixed. Certified Lamborghini tech.
Got EOBD, slightly different from the R8s. R8s it's over that side, whereas on these it's under this side.
Fortunately, there was nothing of significance found while checking all the codes on the computer. However, Mitch did have some advice on spotting issues with the gearbox accumulator.
I don't know if the camera's able to pick that up, but that noise that you just heard, that'll be the same as on your GT. So that's the accumulator priming for the gearbox. Normally a way of telling if that is particularly worn or it's losing pressure, it will prime. It should only be once every 30 seconds. If it's priming a lot more, like every 10 to 15 seconds, it's because it's not being able to hold the pressure.
Ah, interesting.
So yeah, nothing in there, which is good.
Super duper.
So I will run the car now, make sure inside I'm all happy. I just want to make sure obviously like your radio's working, the speakers are all working, that sort of thing. Make sure the screen's working. And you obviously mentioned your aircon as well, so make sure that goes hot, cold. What is common on these and the R8s is there's a valve in the tunnel underneath, which basically allows the hot coolant to go to the heater controls. And quite often they'll either stick or fail. So even though you'll have it on cold, like one side will still be blowing out hot. It's fairly common. So just check that switch is all okay. valve's working underneath, so it's going from hot to cold evenly and the same.
Is it cold?
And when it's cold, it is pretty cold.
Yeah, that feels cold.
Your mirrors are working and that sort of thing as well. So that is where you would fold the screen to have your nav. So you've got the original nav disc there,
Oh wow.
which on these isn't great.
No.
Probably the same as the earlier R8s and that sort of thing.
But it's there, so that's good.
I believe you can get updated ones.
I'm probably going to update the entire unit, to be honest.
Yeah, Apple CarPlay. And you've got your slots there for your memory cards as well.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, everything's working. No speakers blown or anything like that, so you can hear high pitch obviously from the tweeters and the bass speakers. Just making sure all of our buttons work. So one touch.
One touch down, one touch up.
One touch up on passengers.
So it doesn't work. Yeah. Switch is on. Does it work going down?
Yeah, it works going down but not up.
Basically.
Switches, so it should have a...
Yeah, so in when you feel the switch, it goes to
It
like...
rocks, so you've got one stage there
And then a second
and then
stage.
another stage.
Yeah.
So it'll work on the first stage, which is up.
Yeah.
But if you go double up, the window it's not seeing that second switch position.
Just a switch it, just a switch. But it's Lambo, so that'll be $1 million!
That's the service book. It will come out.
Is that for is that the puddle lights?
No, that was the
key
key ring that the dealer gave me. So I've got a rare opportunity to go out on the actual test drive. So hopefully nothing bad will be learned, but I'm going to stick this in and take you with us.
Now unfortunately, I accidentally tapped the time-lapse mode on that particular camera, resulting in absolutely no useful footage. However, I did manage to capture some on my phone. So sorry that it doesn't give you all the best angles.
No noises or anything like that from suspension over the little bumps and the undulations. So what's common on these is over the small undulations you can get pad rattle. Yep. But with the retaining springs being in there the right way around and that sort of thing, not hearing anything, which is good. Yeah, it's just runs quick. Yeah, nice. No slip into the clutch or anything like that there on shifts. You can feel over some of the bumps, it's slightly wanting to pull over to the right, more from the rear.
To be honest with you, I'll get the tyres done, and then as soon as I can get booked back in here, I'll bring it down and have the RE Performance Magic.
You're going to have a Sport Geo, are you?
Yeah. The Magic Geo, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
It made such a difference on the GT.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. That's about all you can do legally on the road. 1 year. That's it. Yeah, no, pulls nice. No hesitations, no coughs, no misfire or anything like that to load. Partial throttle, full throttle. Yeah, it's nice responsive. Yeah, it's nice. Tries well. Do you find people look obviously a lot more in this than the GT?
Oh yeah. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
People smile more. There's more people that smile about it. What I like the most is when, you know, families walking past and you hear that kid say, "It's a Lamborghini," and you're like, oh, you know, I remember being that kid.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, a good car.
Very good car. Yeah, she was nice.
Thank you very much.
Now, remember those rogue fixings? Well,
That is why. That's seized. So that's probably why they've stopped there. coming out, unless they've put the wrong fixing in. If this comes out and it's long,
It's the wrong one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about half that length.
Wow.
Is it supposed to be the length of the one that's in there?
no, the one that's underneath it is a different thread. That's off of something else. There we go.
That was just literally hanging in there.
Just chilling.
Oh wow.
So you can keep that one if you like.
Souvenir.
Unfortunately, that's not any of the ones that you need for the others.
Superb, thank you. So we're done here at RE Performance. The car has been given mechanically a clean bill of health, some minor details. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and YouTube thinks you'll probably like this video too.